So first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here in Aubusson, and had these 2 days a lot of encounters, very fruitful for what I'm doing now in my work, daily work. And today I would like to talk about a project that has been developed in Switzerland. So I'm Italian speaking, but coming from Switzerland, and it's called From the Field to the Table. It's a cooperation between museums and tourism, agriculture, and educational institution that I represent. And as you can see, it's about valorizing the agricultural and tangible cultural heritage in a UNESCO World Heritage landscape of Poschiavo, which is the landscape of the red train of the Russian railway in Canton Graubünden. Where are we in Switzerland? Just to have an idea where we are. This is it's a small valley at the border to Italy, Italian speaking in the canton of Graubünden, which is the only trilingual canton in Switzerland. There is also Romansh, which is the fourth national language in Switzerland. And we are, I was asked to talk also why this project is connected to regional development. So that's why I show you this slide. This is a valley that is working to 100% organic certification, and I would like to show you how the museum in Poschiavo and all the stakeholders that were working at this project had an impact to get to this 96% today of organic agriculture in the area. It's a small area, it's mountainous, you saw the pictures, it's only 5,000 people living there, but it's a very lively area from the cultural point of view and also economic point of view. Very important, the UNESCO candidature, and then at the end the listing on the World Heritage List that happened in 2004. I was part of this candidature for the region of Poschiavo, which is one of the main regions. Maybe you already saw these pictures. It's part of this imagery of Swiss trains, and it's this circular viaduct that is embedded in this landscape. But important to know is it's not only the train which is listed on the World Heritage List. It's also the landscape that crosses the thing. You see the red line is the core zone of the UNESCO World Heritage. Then you have this darker blue line, which is the first buffer zone, and then you have the light blue line, which is everything you see from the train. That means the horizon line. So also from the point of view of spatial planning and so on, this is what is in the World Heritage. So, and this is a lot of landscape. That is very important. It's a cultural landscape, it's a living landscape, it's a productive landscape for the area. So we started to work while the candidature was going on creating also what could preserve this landscape for the future, which is so important also for the World Heritage. A centerpiece of this whole work was a house that is Casa Tomeo. It's a house of the 14th century in the middle of Poschiavo, the main village of the valley. It's like a monolith into a village that has been transformed completely in the 19th century, that today looks like an Italian little town. And the museum is, I can show you this small video here. This house is at the center of the whole development of this valorization of the cultural heritage. We didn't want to create a... Can you hear me even if the music is going or not? Yes. So, because with 10 minutes it's better that I talk on the video, otherwise I can you know, it's a lot of things to say. So this house became one part of the local ethnographic museum, and we decided to make out of it a living house, which is the agricultural heritage of the area. And we worked in connection with other two museums in the area. This is a mill that has been restored, and we developed this idea of showing how the buckwheat, that is one of the most important it's not a cereal, but let we call it cereal that we use for our most important dish that is called pizzoccheri is made. So we reintroduced. There were only very few people that still planted this cereal in the area. We reintroduced it, talking with the people from the agriculture. Some farmers, they were willing to create, first of all, didactic fields to show how you can grow this autochthonous species of buckwheat. Then you go to the mill, you mill it, and then you go to this house and you cook it. In the kitchen you saw on the pictures is a kitchen that is remained stuck in time in the 16th century. So, but it's already almost. What you see, we have also oven. This oven has also been is used regularly for an event that is also connected to another project I'm working on with Regione Val d'Aosta and Regione Lombardia. In any case, let's go back to the presentation. This house is very important, so we worked on this, creating from the field to the table. This became like an asset for the museum because in 2005 we launched it as tourist product. And as I told you, it was a cooperation between a lot of stakeholders. It was 2005, it was the beginning of discussing how to connect agriculture, tourism, museums. So we were one of the first projects in Switzerland working on this theme. We worked with a lot of experts coming from outside, and we developed this offer, which has become now a very important part of the activity of the museum, but a very important part also for the local population. The museum is visited regularly also by locals. The schools go in the museum, do this from the field to the table every year. This field from the table has become, has more different possibilities to have to be constructed. It's like you have like different modules that you can work on it. And in the development of this activity, very important was also education. So we started to educate cultural mediators that are local people that are guiding the groups doing this. Interesting, they're mostly ladies that are doing that. They are paid for this job, so it's a small part-time job. But they identified a lot because we developed the module with them. So we just gave them the framework, some education on how you have to organize a group. But the module was developed by them in the framework of this project. So, and when some of Valentina came and saw it, so maybe you can ask her if I'm not telling false things. These people really live this heritage now. So they became, this house was owned by sisters that stayed in the house until 1990, keeping the house really in a state that today we would say it's a social case, you know, it's something. But for us now a great value, and these people really now embody the new Sister Tomé, the owners of the house today, and. This brought us also to develop in the other building that belongs to the Museum of Poschiavo a completely new permanent exhibition about agriculture, which is related to the heritage, but also this idea of this 100% organic. So showing how what we were and where we are going. We are, as soon as the people understood that it's not the idea of creating a museum out of the agriculture, the local agriculture, but just talking about the agriculture how it is now, and this is our heritage now of agriculture. Everybody was really involved in this project, and we continue to work with them. And every year there are modules developed with other teams from buckwheat. Now we have all cereals. Then we started also to work on education about dry stone walling, which is important. So we have the tours that go out in other places, not only this Casa Tomé and the mill, but also in the landscape, explaining what's behind this heritage, that is also what tourists like to take pictures out when they are on the train. So this is this landscape that is very important. So 1 minute also for me. This became also an asset for the region, so we developed these brands, local brands, from the field to the table. Really, exactly, you can find it on the menus of the restaurants. The restaurants tell you what's going on. They tell you also to go to the museum if you want to see what's behind this thing, to go to the farms. And this became also the milestone for me to get in touch with Regione Lombardia at the beginning for an Interreg Italy Switzerland project. Maybe you know it, this intangible search inventory that you can navigate. Is an online inventory that was started from the experience we had in Poschiavo and the experience of Regione Lombardia. Now we have over 260 items on this inventory about Alpine heritage. And this brought us also to go further to work on a project that is called Alp Foodway, which is dealing with Alpine food heritage. So this knowledge from the very small field to the table from Poschiavo brought me now to manage a project in the Alpine space with 14 partners in 6 countries. And we're working on a participative approach about Alpine food cultural heritage. We launched also an idea to inscribe it in the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage. There is a petition going on, so if you want to sign it, you can go on the website. It's alpfoodway.eu. You can see also what's behind, what is Alpine food heritage. On this platform, there is also a chart about Alpine food heritage, and it's very strong, the link from this small project in a small area and the regional development we had in the area that became very known in Switzerland. Now many people come and journalists write about it and so on, and then this more European at this point, Alpine level that gave us the opportunity to also to be here today. Thank you very much.